Hi students, welcome to Roots Academy. Myself Inayatullah, lecturer of mathematics. Student, in our last video we discussed about the problems on functions, and that too especially it is composite functions. Now student, in this video we will discuss the topic called invertible functions, which is very important in second PUC, and they will ask one question in part D related to this topic, that is invertible functions. Student, is also a part of function chapter, and this topic is very important in second PUC examination purpose. Student, first we will discuss what is invertible. Invertible means a function or a thing which has its inverse. Like if you take a function f from a to b. Student, here if I take a function f from a to b, where a and b are two non-empty sets, then definitely its inverse will be from b to a. I changed here domain and codomain. I interchange the domain and codomain of this function. Then I will get f inverse, and it is from b to a. If I take the GOF or composite of these two functions, if I take the composite of these two functions, that is f of f inverse, or I can write f inverse of f. Anyway, if the answer is an identity function, or if the answer is an identity, then I will call this f. Then f is called an invertible function. F is called as an invertible. Because with this f and this inverse I got identity. That means anything with its inverse, if it gives identity, then that thing is called as invertible. Also, f inverse is called an inverse function. F is an invertible function. F inverse is an inverse function of this f. Inverse function of f. Because with this f and with this inverse we got identity. So student, I think you understood what is invertible function definition. I will repeat one more time. If a function f from a to b and f inverse from b to a, if we take the composite of these two functions, and the answer is an identity, then we will declare that this f is an invertible and f inverse is inverse of this function. So student, this concept is not only in functions, it will come in matrix also in future. That if anything multiplied to any other thing, for example, if I have a and I will take b, if I multiply with b and answer is I, then this a is called as an invertible. The first one is called as invertible, second one obviously it's inverse. It is like this. Okay. Student, after the definition, let us go to the problems. Before I go to the problems, student, here I told you if we take the composite, then we will get identity. That time we will call it as f is inverse. F is invertible. Now student, to prove any function is invertible, there are two cases or two methods. The first method is based on composition. In the composition, always we should get answer is an identity. Either we will take f of f inverse or f inverse of f. In both the cases, we want identity. So this is the one method. The other method to prove invertible is, first we should prove f is 1 1 and f is onto. To prove any function is invertible, we should first prove f is 1 1, then f is onto. If f is both 1 1 and onto, then we will declare that it is invertible. Then f is invertible. After declaring f is an invertible, it says that f has inverse, because we said f is an invertible. It means this itself declares that this function f is having inverse. Next we should find f inverse. We should find f inverse. So it means invertible means what exactly we should do? In the second method, we should first find 1 1, then onto. If it is both 1 1 and onto, 100% it is invertible. After that we will find inverse, if at all they ask. But definitely they will ask in exam. Find invertible as well as inverse of the function. So student, here for invertible function problems, I feel the best method is to prove 1 1 and onto. Because in our previous videos and in our previous classes, we studied much about 1 1 and onto functions. And compared to composite functions, it is very easy to find 1 1 and onto. So what exactly I will do in this video is, I will apply 1 1 and onto method to prove f is invertible. Okay. The first problem is, show that the function f from R to R given by f of x is equals to 4x plus 3 is an invertible function. Also find its inverse. Okay. Student, here in this particular problem, he has given an linear function, and this function is defined in set of all real numbers. R to R means set of all real numbers. After finding it's an invertible function, he is asking us to find its inverse also. So solution. First we will see what is given here. Given f is defined from R to R, and our function is f of x is equals to 4x plus 3. After the student, let us first prove it is 1 1, then onto. To prove 1 1. Now students, we know what is the condition to prove 1 1 and what should be the answer. The condition is f of x1 is equals to f of x2. Same function we should take at two different values of domain set, that is x1 and x2. And finally we should prove that these two values are equal. Let us check. So f of x means 4x plus 3. Like this, f of x1 is 4x1 plus 3. 4x1 plus 3 is equals to 4x2 plus 3. After this, plus 3 and plus 3 gets cancelled. 4x1 is equals to 4x2. Now left hand side 4 and right hand side 4 both gets cancelled. Finally the left out is x1 is equals to x2. Okay. The condition is f of x1 should be equals to f of x2. With that we proved x1 is equals to x2. Now we can declare that f is 1 1. Let us prove onto. To prove onto, what is the condition to prove onto? It is y is equals to f of x. Simple condition. Now y is equals to f of x is clearly given here. It is 4x plus 3. And we know in onto we used to find the value of x in terms of y. Then finally, for every value of y, it must belongs, the value of x belongs in domain real number. For that, what I will do, I will shift 3 to this side. So it becomes y minus 3 is equals to 4x. Then finally, x is equals to y minus 3 divided by 4. Student, this is the value of x. Now here, I should take value of y from this codomain real numbers. So any value I can give to y. Here always for every value of y, x is defined in domain real number. Because denominator is just a number, it is not y. So for every real number of y, it is always defined in domain real number. So I written this complete value belongs to real number. This real number here is domain real number. So for your reference I will write R D. D for domain here. Therefore f is onto here. F is an onto function. I will write here. Therefore f is onto. Now, as I said, if a function is 1 1 as well as onto, then the function is invertible function. So the final conclusion is hence f is an invertible. Here we prove f is an invertible function. But after this, he is asking us to find its inverse. Let us see how can we find inverse. To find f inverse, we will take the condition y is equal to f of x here. Y is equals to f of x. Now student, here just this function f I will shift towards y. Only function I will shift towards y. So it becomes f inverse of y is equals to x. This x remains same as it is. Now in onto I got the value of x. Here I have the value of x that I will substitute here. So f inverse of y is equals to y minus 3 divided by 4. Now student, with this I can declare that I got an inverse function of this in terms of y. But the function he has asked in terms of x, but I got in terms of y. So only thing I can do is change y to x. Change y to x. So this becomes, therefore f inverse of x is equals to x minus 3 divided by 4. So student, this is the inverse of the given function. I hope you people understood the problem of invertible and how to find inverse. Okay, so let us go to the next problem. Consider a function f from positive real numbers to close interval 4 comma infinity given by f of x is equals to x square plus 4. Show that f is invertible and find F inverse and find F inverse. Student, here the function is a quadratic equation and it is defined in positive real numbers to closed interval 4 comma infinity. It means there is no negative numbers neither in our domain nor in our codomain. So it clearly declares that negative numbers are not the part of our function. Negative numbers are not defined here. So we can avoid any kind of negative numbers. And in codomain, that means the value of x, we can start from plus 4 to infinity. Less than 4 we cannot give. Okay. Since it is again invertible, I will use the help of 1 1 and onto. Solution. Given f from positive real numbers to close interval 4 comma infinity and f of x is equals to x square plus 4. It's a quadratic equation. First 1 1 to prove 1 1. F of x1 is equals to f of x2. F of x1 is equals to f of x2. So student, f of x is x square plus 4. Then f of x1 is how much? It is x1 square plus 4. Just in place of x, we will get x1 here and here x2 we will get. So this becomes x1 square plus 4. This is equals to x2 square plus 4. Now student, here left hand side plus 4 and right hand side plus 4 gets cancelled. What is left out here? x1 square is equals to x2 square. Student, here obviously no doubt that it is a quadratic equation and we know quadratic equation has two values. One is plus, other is minus. That's why in formula we'll take plus or minus. But here in our function, the domain and codomain both are from real numbers to real numbers. So we won't get any negative numbers here. So directly I can cancel this square and this square. Or I can take square root on both sides, then square gets cancelled. So finally I will get only x1 is equals to x2. There is only one value of x1, that is positive x2. No negative values here. Therefore f is 1 1. Okay. Next, let us prove onto. To prove onto, the condition is y is equals to f of x. What is our f of x? It is clearly given in the question. It is x square plus 4. So to find the value of x, first shift 4 to other side. So we will get y minus 4 is equals to x square. Now let us shift square to other side to find x. If I shift square to other side, it become root, square root. So my x value is root of y minus 4. Now students, here the values of y is from codomain set. I can give any value to y, but from 4, not less than 4. What happens if I give less than 4? For example, if I give 3, I will get imaginary number. That is root of negative numbers will get. Just to avoid that, our codomain has restriction. It is from 4 to infinity. Yes, for every value of this to y, x is always defined in R plus. Therefore, f is onto. When f is 1 1 as well as onto, then we can declare that hence f is an invertible. F is an invertible. Now let us find its inverse. To find F inverse, the condition is y is equals to f of x. I will shift function to this side. So this becomes f inverse of y is equals to x. Now here I have x value. What is the value of x? F inverse of y is equals to root of y minus 4. If I change y to x, then what I will get? Change y to x. So the final answer is f inverse of x is equals to root of x minus 4. Student, root of x minus 4 is the inverse of the given function. Okay students, let us go to the next problem. Problem number 3. Let f from n to r be a function defined as f of x is equals to, so I will write it here, f of x is equals to 4x square plus 12x plus 15. Show that f from n to s, where s is the range of f, f is invertible. Full stop. Find its inverse. Student, here this time the function is defined from set of all natural numbers to set of all real numbers. Here n represents set of all natural numbers, that is 1 to infinity. R represents set of all real numbers. And the function is a quadratic equation, pure quadratic equation, where all three terms are exist. A value is 4, B value is 12, C is 15. And then with this again, yes, some restriction in a function that f is from n to s. F is from, again domain is same, but what is s? S is a range of f, range of this function. So it means this s is not set of all real numbers. Here s has some restrictions. S cannot be all real numbers. Because what is it declared? S is the range of this R, range of this function. So S has some restriction. With this, we should prove that F is invertible. Okay. So let us start proving this. We will take again 1, 1 and onto concepts. Given f from n to s, this we should prove it is invertible. So I will take this. But we know what is s? S is also real number. S is 100% real numbers, but not all real numbers. Only those real numbers which are range of this function are this real numbers. Okay. And f of x is equals to 4x square plus 12x plus 15. This is the function. Okay. To prove 1 1, to prove 1 1, the condition to prove 1 1 is f of x1 is equals to f of x2. What is f of x1? In this function, wherever x we have, there we should write x1, other terms as it is. Next, for f of x2, same function, in place of x we should write x2. So first, 4x1 square plus 12x1 plus 15, this is equals to 4x2 square plus 12x2 plus 15. Now student, here first we should try to cancel plus 15 and plus 15. Okay, this gets cancels. So what will have? 4x1 square plus 12x1, that is equals to 4x2 square plus 12x2. Now student, here all square terms I will take one side, all the square terms I will take in one side, so that becomes 4x1 square minus 4x2 square, that is equals to 12x2 minus 12x1, 12x2 minus 12x1. Now student, here I can take this 4 outside, x1 square minus x2 square, so that gives, again here student, here minus 12 I will take common because I want x1 x2 format, so that reason I will take minus 12 common. If I take minus outside, then I will get x1 minus x2. Now student, here 4 one time, 4 3 times gets cancel, left hand side and right hand side cancellation. Now a square minus b square identity I can apply here. So according to that I will get x1 plus x2, then x1 minus x2. This I will shift to this side because negative term is there, so it becomes plus 3 x1 minus x2 is equals to 0. Now student, here x1 minus x2 is present in first term as well as it is present in second term. So I will take x1 minus x2 common. What do I get after taking x1 minus x2 common? I will get x1 plus x2 plus 3, because completely x1 minus x2 are removed outside, so just plus 3 is left out. This is equals to 0. Now student, two factors are equal to 0 means either the first factor equals 0 or second factor is equals to 0. So here I will take the first factor is equals to 0, that is x1 minus x2 is equals to 0, and this will also be possible here. This implies x1 is equals to x2. Okay. So here, if we consider the first factor is equals to 0, then we got the case is x1 minus x2 is equals to 0. So student, with this we can declare that f is 1 1. Here we can declare that f is 1 1. Add on this, and this is not necessary to check because here we got x1 is equals to x2. Whether it is possible or not necessary, no need to check, just this much is enough to declare it is 1 1. Let us prove this function is onto. To prove f is onto. We know the condition to prove it is onto. It is just y is equals to f of x. So what is our f of x? Y is equal to complete function. It is 4x square plus 12x plus 15. Student, in onto always constant is very important. First we should remove constants from our right hand side. For that, what best we can do, we will shift this 15 to this side. So it becomes y minus 15. This is equals to 4x square plus 12x. Now student, here I will use the completing square method. I will use the completing square method concept, or not completing square method concept. I will tell you the technique. Y minus 15 is equals to here this can be written as 2x whole square. 4x square can be written as 2x whole square. This 12 we should split in 3 factors. This 12x we should split in 3 factors. The rule here is the first factor must be 2. The first factor must be 2. And the second factor is, in the first term, whatever the term we have written under the square, see there is a square here, under the square, whatever we have written, that we should write. Okay, 2x. The next, see we should get complete 12x. Now multiply, 2 2s are 4, it is 4x we got. Now how much we should write here to get 12? That is important. So how much we should write? 2 2s are 4x, then 4 3s are 12x. Yes. So third factor must be 3, because to make the 3 multiples, 3 factors is equal to 12x, the third factor must be 3. So with that I can write 2 as a first factor, then second factor is 2x, third factor is 3. The next is, student, whatever the third factor we have taken here to get 12x, that squares we should add on both sides. These 3 squares we should add on both sides. Add 3 square on both sides. We know 3 square is 9. Directly I will add it. Y minus 15 plus 9 is equals to 2x square plus 2 into 2x into 3 plus 3 square, or you can write 9, no problem, both are same. So minus 15 plus 9, so it is minus 6. Minus 15 plus 9 is minus 6. Now student, here just be careful here. I will read this in my own way. This I will consider as a square plus 2, this I can call it as a, this is b. So it is a square plus 2ab plus b square, because 3 I consider as b. So it is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So this can be written as a plus b whole square. A square plus 2ab plus b square is nothing but a plus b whole square. Now student, I will shift this square to this side, so it becomes root. So root of y minus 6 is equals to 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3. Now to find the value of x, I will shift 3 to this side. So 2x is equals to root of y minus 6. I will use the bracket. Then this 3, if I shift, it will become minus 3. The purpose of writing bracket is, you should not get confused that this 3 is outside the root. This minus 3 is clearly outside the root. Then next is x is equals to root of y minus 6 minus 3 all divided by 2. So this is the final value of x I got from onto. is this value belongs to this natural number? Is this the value of x for every value of y from our S? Is it belongs? Yes, because he clearly mentioned that S is our range. S is our range. It is declared here. So for every value of y from this S, it is always belongs to capital N, natural number. Therefore, F is onto. When I proved F is 1, 1 as well as F is onto, now I can declare hence F is an invertible function. Now I should find its inverse. Its inverse I should find. Once we know the x value and it is onto, inverse is very easy to find because same thing will get in terms of x. To find f inverse, y is equal to f of x is a condition. Now we'll shift function to this side. It becomes f inverse of y is equals to x. Then next is f inverse of y is equals to x values here, root of y minus 6 minus 3 divided by 2, change y to x. So what, therefore f inverse of x is equals to root of x minus 6 minus 3 divided by 2. Student, this is the final inverse of this given function. The fourth problem. Consider a function f from r plus 2 close bracket minus 5 comma infinity given by f of x is equals to 9x square plus 6x minus 5. Show that f is invertible. Show that f is invertible and find f inverse and find f inverse. Now student, this time the function is, our domain is set of all positive real numbers. R plus means set of all positive real numbers, and our codomain is minus 5 to plus infinity. It is from minus 5 to plus infinity. Less than negative 5 we cannot take, it is not defined at that particular point. So it is from minus 5 to plus infinity. What is a given function? It is a purely a quadratic equation again, where a is 9, b is 6, c is minus 5. This function we should show that it is an invertible and we should find f inverse. Again we'll use the concepts of 1, 1 and onto. Solution. First we'll take given f from r plus 2 close bracket minus 5 to infinity, and f of x is 9x square plus 6x minus 5. Now student, here okay, to prove 1, 1, to prove 1 the condition is f of x1 is equals to f of x2. What is f of x1? 9x1 square plus 6x1 minus 5. This is equals to 9x2 square plus 6x2 minus 5. Student, here first we will target constants. So first we will remove minus 5 and minus 5. That gets cancelled. So the left out part is 9x1 square plus 6x1, that is equals to 9x2 square plus 6x2. Now student, here I can apply the concepts whatever I applied onto in the last problem. That either I can apply here itself as well as otherwise I can apply onto also. Okay, let me use the same concepts for 1 and onto. So 9x1 square can be written as 3x1 whole square, because 9 can be written as 3 square and x1 is already has square. So 3 square x1 square can be written as 3x1 whole square, plus this is 6x1. I should split in 3 factors. The second term always we should split in 3 factors. What are the 3 factors? The rule for the first factor is it must be 2 only. It must be 2. Then second factor, whatever I had written under the square here, that I should write. I had written 3x1. Now this is an unknown factor. Now multiply this. 2 3s are 6, x1. Okay, yes, completely we got. But still we should write the third factor. This is very important, because this second term we must split in 3 factors. And the rule is first factor must be 2, positive 2. And the second factor is whatever there in under the square, that we should write. Now multiply. 2 3s are 6, x1. It's over. Then the third factor must be 1, because final quantity should not be changed. We should not get less than 6x1 or more than 6x1. So I written third factor as 1. Now check. 2 3s are 6x1. 6x1 into 1 is 6x1. Yes. So the 6x1 can be written as 2 into 3x1 into 1. Isn't it? Now this is equals to, same thing here also, 3x2 whole square plus 2 into 3x2 into 1. Now whatever the third factor we have taken here, that square we should add on both sides. Third factor square we should add on both sides. So add 1 square on both sides. Here 1 square is 1, so it doesn't matter if you write 1 or 1 square. So this becomes 3x1 whole square plus 2 into 3x1 into 1 plus 1 square. This is equals to 3x2 whole square plus 2 into 3x2 into 1 plus 1 square. Now student, this I can read like a square plus 2a, 1 is b, 2ab plus b square. So a square plus 2ab plus b square can be written as a plus b whole square. This is equals to, right hand side also same thing, a plus b whole square. Now student, here the domain is positive real numbers. Here the domain is positive real numbers. There are no negative numbers in our domain. So though it is a quadratic equation, though it has a square, but it doesn't deal with any negative numbers. So both sides, square and square, gets cancelled. The left out thing is 3x1 plus 1 is equals to 3x2 plus 1. Now plus 1 and plus 1 gets cancelled in both the side. So 3x1 is equals to 3x2. Now left hand side and right hand side same multiples, 3 and 3 gets cancelled here. So finally what do we get? We get x1 is exactly equals to x2. With this we can say that the function is 1 1. Therefore f is 1 1, because the condition is f of x1 is equal to f of x2, and finally we proved x1 is equals to x2, hence it is 1 1. Next, let us prove onto function. To prove onto, the condition to prove onto is y is equals to f of x. What is the value of y? Y is equals to f of x is, it is clearly given here, 9x square plus 6x minus 5. Now student, this minus 5 I will shift towards left hand side, so that becomes plus 5. Y plus 5 is equals to 9x square can be written as 3x square plus student again okay, this 6x as it is, just 9x square plus 6x. Okay. Y plus 5 is equals to 3x square whole square as it is plus, student, this 6x, see as I split it here, same way I should write here in onto also. First factor is 2, second factor is 3x this time, third factor is 1. As I said, the third factor square we should add on both sides, both in 1 1 as well as onto case. Same procedure. So add 1 square on both sides. So what do I get? 1 square value is 1, so no need to worry, we can just write 1. So is equals to 3x whole square plus 2 into 3x into 1 plus 1 square. Now student, 5 plus 1 is 6. So y plus 6 is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So this can be written as a plus b whole square. Now student, there is this square here, so this square I will shift to other side, so it gives root of y plus 6 is equals to 3x plus 1. Next, student, here I will shift this constant term to other side, so that gives 3x is equals to root of y plus 6 minus 1. So x is equals to root of y plus 6 minus 1 whole divided by 3. Now students, here the codomain starts from minus 5 and ends at plus infinity. So I can give any value to y between minus 5 to infinity. For those values, it is always, x is always defined in our positive real numbers. So therefore it belongs to R plus. When it is belongs to R plus, therefore f is onto. When f is 1 1, when this f is 1 1 as well as onto, then we can declare that hence f is an invertible function. F is an invertible function. Now student, let us find the inverse of this function. To find f inverse, y is equals to f of x. So to find inverse, I will shift this function to other side. So it becomes f inverse of y is equals to x. Now here student, f inverse of y is equals to, what is the value of x? The value of x is root of y plus 6 minus 1 divided by 3. So here also it is root of y plus 6 bracket minus 1 whole divided by 3. This is the value of x. And here I got the inverse of this function in terms of y. Now students, since it is an inverse function, we know in inverse function domain and codomain will interchange. Domain and codomain will interchange. With that, I will change y to x. Change y to x. Student, here change y to x. So what do I get? F inverse of x is equals to root of x plus 6 minus 1 whole divided by 3. And this is the final inverse of this function. Student, there are many more problems of invertible functions, but I think I explained the concept in a very clear method, and I hope you people understood this. Student, if you have any doubt in this topic, you can put your doubts in comment box, and if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe our channel so you can get instant videos. And if to be helpful to the other students, the needy students, keep sharing our videos, and don't forget to like our channel.